while since we talked about the Bad Batch, and 6 episodes have passed. But also we got The Acolyte, we got a bunch of stuff that came out, so we had to cover that too. So we're going to go ahead and talk about it. So we're picking up from episode 8 and going all the way to episode 13, which came out last week. Maybe I'll skip this week and then, or skip next week and then just do a altogether review, or we'll figure it out. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and talk about basically a third of the show. So where we left off, the Bad Batch is trying to figure out how to get to Tantus and using whatever means necessary, which leads into the next episode where they recruit Fennec Shand to get intel on Tantus, but of course she makes them work for her, so Wrecker and Hunter go with as Crosshairs kind of hangs back, and they go do the mission with her, help hunt the person down, and then she kind of blows it off and goes, well, I know somebody that might know, so I'll hook you up later on, which is then the next episode, which is the return of Asajj Ventress in the Harbinger, where she comes just to basically check on, see if Omega is Force sensitive, and kind of assess the Bad Batch and kind of tell them what they should be doing with Omega. We'll get into my opinions on each episode after, like, just summing stuff up, because I do have a lot of opinions on an episode. Then we had the next episode, which I forgot the name of it, but basically it's kind of showing what happens behind the vault as Emery becomes the head nurse, and it's experimenting on children, which is very dark, and kind of shows like what these children are going through, them trying to escape, everything like that. So after that we get the episode Identity Crisis, where the Bad Batch and Omega are found on their sanctuary planet, which then gets attacked by the Empire. Omega devises a plan that she will go turn herself in, and the Bad Batch can follow her due to some failures, one being Crosshairs missing shooting the tracker beam, and Omega turning in her comlink. She gets brought back, which then we get to the next episode, Juggernaut, where we see that Omega is put in the Vault 2, where she's interacting with kids and everything like that, while the Bad Batch goes and tries to pick Vice Admiral Rampart out of prison to get information on Tantus, now that there's a ticking time bomb about Omega. We'll talk about the episode at the end. And then we got the most recent episode where they try to, again, find a way to Tantus as Omega finds a way to break out. They end up going on another undercover mission where they find a ship that is headed to Tantus and then attach on as the ship warps to hyperspace. So yeah. With that, let's talk about my opinions. The Fennec Shand episode did feel like early Clone Wars in a sense, where it was kind of like a lesson learned episode where it's like, do you want to trust somebody if they have enough intel, even though they might be a bad person, sort of thing. Where, like, they basically, actually, best way to describe it, I was sitting there, I go, this is Space Australia. There's crocodile wrestling and stuff like that. It's like, that's the most Australian thing I've seen in Star Wars. But yeah, there's that, and then, like, just some kind of goofy-ish moments. I will say I've never really liked the animated Fennec Shand, or that era, I guess, because she only showed up in Bad Batch. I prefer the Mandalorian era Fennec This one just kind of feels like a I'm such a badass for no reason sort of feeling, when the live action one gets more respectable and stuff like that. After that, we have The Harbinger, which all in all was a great episode. The only issue that I had is the fact that they stated since the premiere of the trailer they will explain how Asajj got back, which honestly, I get it. It's a 20-minute episode of a cartoon explaining a book that probably 75% of Star Wars fans did not read. And they left her ambiguous TV or show-wise. So they don't need to literally like have her go on like a whole thing explaining, oh yeah, so I faked my death when we tried to assassinate Count Dooku. That happened like towards the end of the Clone Wars when I actually became a good person and fell in love with a Jedi, and he went to the dark side, so I had to fake my death. They didn't have to do that, but the way they did explain it very much so gave somehow Palpatine has returned vibes, where she's like, yeah, I have a lot of lives. Which, one, references the fact that they did attempt to kill her many times in Clone Wars and were almost successful, but barely acknowledging yeah, no, you did die. They held a funeral for you and everything. What happened? So that was, like, kind of annoying to me. I get... I know that, like, I rant about this in Rise of Skywalker a lot. However, I get that not every Star Wars fan reads the books. Not every Star Wars fan, like, cares about the books or anything like that. Heck, we're lucky that we have a big show base for people. But the whole issue is that they need to acknowledge a sort of system here. At least, like, if they didn't want to say it in the show and people were bugging about it, they should not have been like, oh, it'll be revealed in the show, it'll be revealed in the show. Just come out and say, hey, yeah, actually they faked her death, or a Night Sister brought her back, or something like that. Who knows, maybe they'll explain in Tales of the Empire. I didn't even think about that, because I think, isn't she like a main... Oh, no, it's not her, it's Barriss Offee. Sorry. Oh, wait, maybe it is. It's been a while since we did that video. But, yeah, so... I mean, maybe it'll be revealed in Tales of the Empire, but still, it was very kind of poorly explained. The reveal of what is in the vault and everything like that was kind of cool. You do get to see Emery start to realize, okay, maybe this is messed up, maybe Omega's right. But, I mean, there's really not much going on in that episode besides that. Afterwards, we have the Identity Crisis episode, which was like kind of the fulcrum point of the whole season, which is them, Omega turning over, their safe place getting destroyed, the Bad Batch's shuttle getting destroyed, everything like that. I mean, it was the big crux. And what's kind of funny is this started feeling like Mandalorian Season 2. I did not put that together until like 10 seconds ago, where we have the ship getting destroyed, the young child that is being protected getting captured by the enemy and taken away to be experimented on, and the hero or heroes now have to find a way to get them by working with a ex-enemy, stealing a Juggernaut even, and going on like a chase with the Juggernaut, which is the next episode, Juggernaut, which is honestly, even when I was sitting there, I go, this feels a lot like The Mandalorian. I didn't realize till that point that it literally is the same plot as The Mandalorian. But yes, they go to abduct Rampart to force him to work with them. Obviously, it's a little different than Mandalorian because they get Miggs Mayfeld before stealing the Juggernaut. But still, it's basically the same episode, which is kind of funny. Which then leads to the next episode where they go to find out where Tantus is, because Rampart doesn't know where it's at. And this does feel less Mandalorian-y, but because in the Juggernaut episode in Mandalorian, they do find out where Grogu's getting hidden at. But in this one, they still need to find a way, because Tantus is so heavily covered and guarded that they have to find a way, which actually gave a lot of tension on when they were trying to attach to the shuttle at the end, which was probably some of the best tension I've seen in Star Wars for a long time. So yeah, I'm excited for the last 3 episodes. I'm not even going to give a rank. We're going to go ahead and do that at the end. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and follow me on all my social media down below. It's that Nerd Ryan,